void the gamer, there's kind of, in my mind, three or four ways that you can either directly or indirectly really develop your striking technique and your shooting technique. Some of the ways that are the most fun that I've been speaking about now is bringing a ball with you everywhere you go. The reason why I think this is so important is because if you can bring a tennis ball everywhere you go, then you could start to develop just a juggling habit, 1 minute a day. So my question to you is, do I have a daily juggling habit? And if not, then all it starts with is, just getting the first touch, just doing one touch once at any point in time, because if you can do one, then you could do two, right? So if you start juggling for 1 minute a day and you do that consistently, then you're going to be able to get more touches and help you improve your balance, timing, rhythm, coordination, all that fun stuff. So anyone who has a shooting or a passing problem usually always has a juggling problem. And I think one of the most underrated way that players aren't juggling is using their thighs, right? Because using your thighs can help you develop, your body's connected. So anytime that you have to raise that knee up, right? Bring that knee up to catch the ball, it's going to help develop your shooting. So a lot of players are worried about juggling with the feet, but aren't that effective at juggling, or aren't that decent at juggling with the thighs. So I would encourage you just to bring a ball, right? So step one, improving your shooting technique is actually just finding a tennis ball or a ball of any size. I like tennis balls because they're more portable, and bringing it with you everywhere you go so that you can give yourself the opportunity, if you want to start to get more touches and develop, right? More touches juggling so that you could develop your shooting technique. The second tool is this SKLZ solo kick trainer, but it's just a ball and a rope, right, with a decent handle. But you can get some rope, some soft rope, tie a knot, and duct tape it to a size 1 ball, and it's the same exact thing, right? But the reason why this is so powerful is because you can cram months of training into days or weeks. And proper shooting technique, it's like, what is proper shooting technique? I don't think there is any proper shooting technique. There's just ways that you feel strong if you have the ability, right? Because you can see that it's like in golf. Some players, there's different styles of how you can swing the club, right? There's not one perfect way to hit a ball, and every player has different strengths. Some people are taller, so they have certain, their center of gravity is a certain point. Some players are shorter and stockier. So just the physics, right? Their anatomy allows them to do certain things and hit the ball this certain way. But you just gotta make great contact, right? And what this ball is gonna do is really allow you to get great contact in a fun and relaxing way. Like, someone asks me what I'm doing, I'm just having fun playing soccer. But what's gonna happen is I'm gonna become a better shooter. So this is just a simple tool, and then look, you can get it to one leg in balance, and then when you're one leg, you're also working your core. There's a lot of things going on that are hard to see when you're just using this ball and rope. And if you have a dog at home or something like that, it's like in a soccer game, maybe you'll get 200 touches, maybe. But when you use this, right, if you get 60 touches in 60 seconds, that means walking around your block, you can get close to 1,200 touches effortlessly using one of these kick trainers. So I just can't recommend this enough in terms of improving my shooting and improving my shooting technique. I don't have a good ball for it right now, but there's something called, that you might want to learn. It's called no spin juggling. You could call it no spin juggling or forward spin juggling. And the reason why it's important is because it really teaches you to point your toe and lock your ankle right at the point of contact when you're juggling. So if you have any time that you have a big wall in front of you, or you're in an area where it's safe, you could start to take a ball, and right when you're about to juggle it, if you point your toe and lock your ankle right before you're gonna hit it, you could start to get it where the ball will start to either not spin at all or start to spin forward. And when you practice this over and over and over and over again, what's gonna happen is all your shots, they're gonna start to develop this top spin. So you're gonna start to be able to shoot the ball that's gonna dip over walls. It's gonna be very hard for goalkeepers to save your shot because it's gonna create a lot of movement with the top spin. And that's something that you could even start to develop with a bouncy ball, or with literally balls of any size. Just being able to lock that ankle and point the toe right at the point of contact. And I think it's easy if you have a big wall in front of you, just so that you could really see the change of direction in the ball as you're doing this. And you know what? If we're going to talk about shooting technique, you also have to think about you got to think about two things in my mind. Well, I'd argue three things. If you haven't searched Dr. Vranich, How to Breathe, her TED Talk, and you say, okay, Andrew, what does breathing have to do with shooting? But it's like, if you have poor stamina or you have poor endurance and you can't last 90 minutes, and you get the ball played into you, or you know, you have an opportunity on goal and you're either too tired so you can't even finish the run, or you're just drained so you have no energy for the shot, then if you've got great shooting technique but can't last 90 minutes, then what does it matter? So 3 days you could go without food and water. You could go 3 hours, arguably, in an inhospitable environment. Like if it's very cold or very hot, 3 hours. You can go 3 minutes without air, arguably. So that means that you really want to invest some time learning that breathing technique, because what it's going to do is going to help elevate not only just your indirectly your shooting, but also your stamina and endurance and your thoughtfulness and awareness on the field. So I think that's on a deeper level more important than learning to improve your shooting technique. So I'll just throw that in there. The second thing is all soccer players, right? Soccer players are humans first, soccer players second. And what that means is that you gotta have a certain level of strength in your body to perform as a soccer player, right? If you didn't have enough strength, you wouldn't even be able to hold your body up against gravity. So being strong and being able to move effectively is super important for soccer players. And one tool that's completely changed my life is called an RMT rope, right? So all you do is, it's just a long piece of rope. You could buy it on Amazon, or you could make it yourself from a local hardware store. And the beauty is that it's like effortless soccer training. Because even though that this looks like something that, you'd say, okay, how can this improve me as a soccer player? And the way it improves you is because it helps your feet and your hands move together, right? The body's connected. So what this is going to allow you to do is transfer your weight on the soccer field so that you can move more effectively, right? It's going to improve your one-legged balance. It's going to improve your timing, your rhythm, your coordination. I noticed immediately that this helped me become a better, it improved my juggling, which improved my ball striking, which improved my passing, which improved my shooting. So for all those reasons, if you're not using one of these RMT ropes, it's something that no soccer players are talking about, and it's something that can really elevate your game, and that you could search David Weck, WECK plus RMT rope, and see what turns up, and see if it's right for you. Right, breathing, RMT rope, kick trainer, juggling every day, and learning the no spin juggling. Yeah, that's a great start, all those things, because I mean, if you did even just one of these things I've suggested, it's going to improve your shooting technique. And once I have some room, there's also another thing that we could do to improve the shooting technique as well. But this stuff is going to help lay down that foundation. I mean, it's hard to say what's most important, because I could give great advice, but for whatever circumstance, it may hit or miss. So that's why I gotta ask these questions. Do you know how to breathe? Can you make yourself an RMT rope, or buy an RMT rope? Do you have